Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining the Iowa Farmers Market Association Board today as we offer our annual workshop to you as a virtual experience. This is Donna, and we hope you benefit from the 4 workshop sessions. Please submit any questions that you have to our website, iowafarmersmarkets.org. That's iafarmersmarkets.org, or to Marie Boyd. Her email is marie@healthyharvestni.com. Grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and get ready to prepare for market season 2021.
Well, thank you for joining us today. Our topic for today's workshop is EBT and Double Up Food Bucks here in the state of Iowa for farmers markets. And we have some wonderful guests on with us that will walk through what their programs are about, and we'll try to answer some questions as best as we can. So first up is Tracy Penick from the Wireless Ebt Project here in Iowa. So Tracy, I'll have you start sharing your screen.
Hi, my name is Tracy Penick. I work for the Department of Human Services, and I am the project manager for the Wireless Ebt Project. So let's talk about the beginning of the Wireless Ebt Project. In late 2004, the Iowa Food Council Policy Council, commissioned by then Governor Vilsack, urged the DHS to explore how to expand the SNAP program to farmers markets. DHS determined that the Wireless Project would not recreate the stigma associated with using the old food stamp paper coupons, would not utilize tokens or paper script, as a very high percentage of market managers were also vendors at the market and were selling their own products, and would accept debit and credit cards as well as EBT, as this would help reduce the stigma for the SNAP households. So the Wireless Ebt Project began, and here's a little bit about the project. DHS provides 1 wireless machine per farmer. Farmers can rent additional machines at their own cost. Each farmer is individually certified as a direct marketing farmer with the USDA, not the market. Farmers can use their machine anywhere, anytime, 24/7. Farmers are able to accept any EBT card, which means any state's EBT card, as well as credit and debit cards. Each farmer signs a contract with the merchant provider processor, and each month the farmers are mailed their monthly statements. Farmers participating in the project are provided a PAX A920 mobile tablet. The PAX is user-friendly, it's wireless, it bounces off cell phone towers, it has a large high-definition color display, it has a super fast thermal printer, and it settles or batches each night automatically, and the farmers see their money in their bank account in 1 business day. For the farmers participating in the project, this is what DHS provides. 1 PAX A920 machine. DHS pays for all the monthly costs associated with EBT. DHS provides signage for the farmers so that the SNAP clients can find them. The signage is a tabletop, a table skirt, and a banner. We supply all the paper rolls, and each month DHS reviews the farmers' statements for accuracy to make sure the farmers are being charged correctly. And DHS is there to assist with all issues that the farmers may run across. What the farmers are responsible for is the commercial side of the machine, which is the debit and credit side. The cost for the debit and credit transactions are 2.15% for Visa, MasterCard, and Discover transactions, 2.50% for American Express transactions, and 20 cents per transaction. So how does DHS promote this project? We put together an annual brochure every year, and it's available for the SNAP households at their local DHS office. What this brochure has is all of the farmers participating in the project, what farmers markets they attend, the date, location, and times of the market. Also, a lot of the farmers also have roadside stands. So the roadside stands are also promoted in this brochure, and that also has the address, locations, and times of those roadside stands. We also put great big colorful posters in the DHS office, and the posters represent the farmers markets in the area where the farmers are selling their produce and are able to accept EBT. And the DHS website also has, coming soon, a video. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, the video got delayed because the markets were not operating as normal. So we hope to get that up and going as soon as markets open this year. There's a monthly newsletter on the DHS website, and also the brochure I mentioned earlier and a flyer. DHS provides signage and paper rolls for all the farmers, and there's a picture of what our signage looks like. The EBT card is definitely the focus of our signage. And then this slide represents our sales for the last 10 years. It shows EBT, credit and debit sales, and the total sales. This slide is the transactions by year, and it again is for the last 10 years and shows EBT, credit, debit, and total transactions. So this is our 2020 sales for the project. The Wireless Ebt Project rolled out on June 18th of 2005 with 10 farmers. So we just completed our 15th year of the project. And what is so special about 2020, of course, is the pandemic. The farmers markets were delayed. A lot of the farmers markets were canceled, and some of the farmers markets went to online. So what is so awesome about 2020 for our project is it is the highest sales we've ever had. So that was really a great accomplishment for this project, and it really showed that our farmers thought outside the box and made sure that they could get their produce to the families that needed it. Some other interesting facts is in 2019, an average EBT transaction was $14.24. In 2020, the average transaction was $21.10, which shows a 48% higher from 2019. For the commercial sales, the debit and credit, in 2019, the average transaction was $25.63. In 2020, it was $36.27, which is a 42% higher. So let's talk a little bit about EBT. EBT is another source of funding for your business. If you don't accept EBT, it's certainly something you want to look at. With the pandemic, the EBT benefits have changed a little bit. So now all of the SNAP clients in Iowa now get the maximum allotments for SNAP. Also, there is now a 15% temporary increase in SNAP benefits, and that runs January 1st through June 30th. And last but not least, PEBT. PEBT is for students that receive free and reduced lunches. The EBT students were given an EBT card with the benefits on it, and Iowa issued round 1 of PEBT in July. So what do you need to do if you want to join the Wireless Ebt Project? First thing you need to do is to get in contact with me. You can call or email me. The next step is to complete the USDA retailer application as a direct marketing farmer to get certified to accept EBT. It's really important to start this process early. It can take 30 to 45 days for the USDA to authorize you. And it's very important that once you fill out the application, that you follow up with the necessary paperwork, which is a copy of the driver's license and the Social Security cards. If you don't follow up with the paperwork, your application stops, it expires, and you have to start over. The next thing you would need to do is fill out the application for the wireless machine. This is an online process, and we work with Conduit State and Local Solutions, and the subcontractor is CDE Go EBT. What's awesome about our new contractor is when you look for a wireless machine, a lot of times you're locked into a 3-year contract. Our contracts are month to month, So if something happens, you get sick, or you have a complete loss of your produce, you can shut down your wireless machine with no penalties. Then there's a DHS addendum that each farmer has to sign. This shows the responsibilities of DHS, and it shows the farmer's responsibilities. And then once we get the applications all completed, your machine has been deployed, we do a training session with each farmer. Back before the pandemic, this was face-to-face, but with the pandemic, we now do this over the phone. And we think it's important to train because we want you to feel very comfortable with your machine. We run transactions, we talk about statements, we talk about fees. That way, when you're done with training, you're ready to take your machine, go to the market, you know exactly what's going to happen. And then the other thing with being part of the Wireless Ebt Project, it's very important that you have your machine at the market and you post your signs so SNAP families can find you. The key and the success of the Wireless Ebt Project, of course, is the farmers. Some of the farmers have been with the project for years. Just a little data from 2020, as I said, it was our highest sales year ever. We had 4 of our farmers with over $200,000 on their machine in 2020, which is an awesome accomplishment. There's a few more of our farmers that participate in the project. And for additional information on the project, you can go to this link on the DHS website to find out more information. And if you have any questions or want to talk about joining the project, there is my contact information. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you, Tracy, and thank you for providing such a great option for our farmers to be able to make their products and markets accessible for EBT folks in the state of Iowa.
Thank you.
And yes. And next, we're going to have folks from MarketLink present about a market-based option for EBT machines as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to share this information with everyone. I hope it is useful. And if folks have questions, they can certainly contact me afterwards and we can share the slides of the presentation too. So just to jump right in, MarketLink is a program of the National Association of Farmers Market Nutrition Programs, also known as Nafmp. This is a group that started in the early 90s, hand in hand with the promulgation of the Farmers Market Nutrition Programs, which has both a seniors component and a women, infants, and children component, otherwise known as WIC FMNP and Seniors FMNP. MarketLink is a complete technology that we developed back in 2013, and it is the only app through which you can accept SNAP. So in coordination with USDA, we were just awarded in October of 2019 the current cooperative agreement to provide free equipment for farmers and markets to accept SNAP. And we also provide technical assistance to help them through the process, particularly with the USDA application to become a SNAP authorized retailer. We are a national program. We work all the way across the country and can help a farmer or a market in any state. So our team, you can see there on the left, is made up of the National Association of Farmers Market Nutrition Programs, NAFMNP, as I mentioned before. We work directly with USDA's Food and Nutrition Service to ensure that SNAP retailer authorizations are approved and also that folks are able to increase their acceptance of SNAP at their market or their farm stand. And Novadia Group is the technology partner that we work with. They're based out of Austin, Texas, and they are the creators of the Total Pay Go point of sale system and all of the apps that we're working with. On the right-hand side, you see the process of how it works. A farmer or market goes through our website to complete their eligibility assessment to see whether they qualify for the grant program. Second, they make sure that they have their FNS authorization up to date so that they are certified to accept SNAP. Third, they set up their account with Novadia Group so that the transactions can go through and be processed efficiently. And then lastly, they get their equipment in the mail and we can help them set that up if they need assistance with that as well. Here's an overview of electronic payments and the MarketLink program and some of the benefits. As you can see on the slide, and as we all know, in the age of the pandemic, everyone is looking to lessen the amount of physical contact that folks have with one another. So electronic payments are becoming more and more the norm, even in farmers markets where maybe in the past they were much more cash-based. Only 26% of sales were completed in cash in 2019. And I think once we get numbers for 2020, that number will be even smaller as a result of the pandemic and folks trying to minimize, again, that physical contact. The advantages of MarketLink, you can see on the right-hand side. Not only can you accept SNAP, but you can also accept credit and debit through the app. And the state program, which is also being provided by some states with USDA funding, is for SNAP only machines. So that's a big difference. If you decide to go through your state program, in some cases you may only be able to accept SNAP, but if you choose the MarketLink equipment, you can accept SNAP and credit and debit. You can expand your customer base by ensuring access to folks that may be on federal benefits. And as you can see, less than 40% of an overlap between the Farmers Market Nutrition Program customers and the SNAP customers. So there's potential for an entire new market of customers to shop with you at the market or at your farm stand. We're working on some new programs to increase sales as well, and I'll get to that a bit later in terms of our new innovations coming up. We have negotiated the best rates for electronic payments. There is no transaction fee for SNAP transactions. And then we also have worked out an arrangement with Square so that you have reduced credit processing rates as well. This is just a visual representation of why you would want to consider accepting SNAP. As you can see, the FMNP program is funded at the red line level at the bottom, and the SNAP program is funded at the green line on top. And particularly with the pandemic, that amount of money being allocated for SNAP has expanded significantly. So there is a big market and potential expansion of revenue for farmers and markets to take advantage of. They also work together as good companion programs because the Farmers Market Nutrition Program is only for fruits and vegetables, and the SNAP program you can also accept for other pantry staples. So meat, eggs, essentially anything that you would put in your pantry at home that is edible and that doesn't include some of the ineligible foods, which you can see on the next slide. For the SNAP facts, you can see that any person who qualifies based on income can receive SNAP. 39 million Americans received SNAP in 2019, and I think that number is probably likely much higher, unfortunately, as a result of the pandemic in 2021. The eligible foods are all fruits and vegetables, meats, fish, and poultry, and everything else you see listed there. In essence, as I mentioned before, it's everything that you could take home and put in your pantry. Ineligible foods are non-food products like flours, wine and alcohol are not allowed, and hot foods or foods meant to be eaten on site. If you don't qualify for the free equipment, which the qualification is just that the farmer, well, first of all, that you are a farmer, direct marketing farmer or a farmer's market. And the second is that you have not received equipment through the current MarketLink program. So if you have not received equipment through us since October of 2019, you would qualify for the program. If you don't qualify for the program or you want to get additional equipment, you can purchase that directly from Novadia Group. You would still have access to the SNAP transactions without any processing fees, and you could still purchase a card reader in order to accept those payments. We also provide technical assistance through the program. We do have a team that is nationwide. We're actually working on bringing on a few more team members right now. And we can help with all of the things that you see listed on this slide. The eligibility assessment completion, obtaining your USDA FNS SNAP retailer approval, confirming the status of your application, equipment setup and training, and other questions that you may have. I'm just gonna pause for a quick second here. Excuse me, I'm back. This is an important part of the MarketLink program. We can actually complete the SNAP retailer application on your behalf. So you can set up an appointment with one of our regional representatives and they can submit the application on your behalf over the phone. You just then need to send in your electronic forms that are required for the application, and then you can complete it efficiently. And oftentimes USDA is approving them within just a few weeks when they're working with our team. So the other items that are new for this round of the USDA grant is, as I mentioned before, the eligibility is just that you have not received equipment through our program. So that means that if you have received equipment through a previous program, you are still eligible. So you could get, for example, a new card reader, or you could get the license covered for 1 year, and essentially bring your equipment up to date to best support your market or your farm. Also, USDA has provided a printer waiver for those who receive equipment through this grant. There is a regulation that if you accept SNAP, you have to provide a printed receipt to the customer. But for this grant, if you receive equipment through our grant, then you do not need to provide that printed receipt. You can either email it or you can text it to the customer, but you don't have to physically print it out, which is nice because then you don't have to worry about remembering the wireless printer, making sure that it's charged and that you have it with you at market. Novidia Group is now a SNAP EBT third-party processor, otherwise known as TPP. So what that means is that Novidia Group can now process those transactions directly, and that's why there's no longer a transaction fee per SNAP transaction. Mobile Market Plus was the app that you could formerly use, and that has now been replaced by what is called Total Pay Go. This is to incorporate the credit part of the process and to ensure that you can connect directly with your Square account through the app. And then just as I mentioned, Square is now an option for credit and debit processing. So for those that may have participated in the program in the past and are working with WorldPay, with this new grant, if you choose to take advantage of it, you can get rid of WorldPay as your processor if you wish, and you can get out of the 3-year contract that they previously required. There is no annual contract or long-term contract, and you can go month to month, which I'll talk about those rates in a bit as well. As I mentioned before, USDA has provided a printer waiver. If you do have functioning equipment, you do have to provide a printed receipt. In other words, if you don't take advantage of this current program, you still have to provide a printed receipt. And USDA is working on making a categorical waiver for all farmers markets and direct marketing farmers. They just haven't been able to get to that just yet. If you do want or need a printer, you can also purchase it from Novidia Group. As I mentioned, Novidia Group is now a third-party processor, and you can see some of the different options that you have working with the Total Pay point of service apps. As I mentioned, there's no there's no annual license if you don't want. You can go month to month if you like. There's no long-term contracts. There's no early termination fee if you end your processing with them. There's no transaction fees, no setup fees, and there are no ACH fees. So this is a cost savings that we've been able to achieve with this round that we're passing along to farmers and markets. This is essentially what it looks like. This program is a bring your own device model, which means that you have to have a smart device that you can install the Total Pay Go app onto. That can be Android or Apple. There are apps on both of those systems. And what you receive is a free card reader and then a 1-year license, and then the instructions to get all of your processing set up with Novidia Group. These are the transaction rates that I mentioned before. There's no transaction fee per SNAP transaction when working with Novidia Group. If you do decide to go with WorldPay, mostly this would be for those that were previously processing with WorldPay and wanted to keep that arrangement. There is a 15 cents per transaction fee, and then it's also 1.79% of the sale for credit and debit. For Square, it is 10 cents per transaction and 2.6% of the sale. We have negotiated a slightly lower rate for Square customers. So when you sign up, you can either inform us that you have a Square account and be moved over to the group with the lower rate, or if you need to open a Square account, we can help you get set up with the lower rate when you do that. This is a picture of what it actually looks like on your smart device. You can see on the left the login screen, and then the second in from the left, when you open the app, the different tender types that you have available to accept. And then on the right-hand side, you see some of the kind of administrative screens for the setup process. You can learn more about Total Pay at these locations. This is Novidia Group's information, and it has everything that you might need. One question that we get asked often is after the 1-year grant, what the fees will be. And currently you can sign up either for an annual license with Novidia Group, which is a 20% discount over the month-to-month rate. If you do the annual license, it is $191.40 per year. And then if you do the month-to-month rate, it is $19.95 per month. We found that in particular for folks that have a short growing season, sometimes they just want to go month to month, but you do get a bit of a discount if you decide to sign up for that annual rate. So the next screen, you can see some of the reports and some of the information that you'll have available to you. When you set up your license for your Total Pay Go app, you also have access to this online portal. The online portal is where you can see all of your transactions, download all of your information, and then analyze it based on a variety of different metrics. So all of this information can be downloaded, for example, to be then input into your financial management system or your accounting system. All of the data is available to you 24/7 to be able to analyze your business and also be able to use it for management purposes. So how to get started, the easiest way is to go to marketlink.org/apply. This is where you can complete the eligibility assessment, which is very short and very to the point. It should only take you a few minutes. And then after we receive your application, we process it within 1 to 2 business days, and you'll receive an email with next steps based on where you are in the process. These are a few things to remember if you do decide to go through with taking advantage of the current MarketLink grant. You do have to have an active email account that you check regularly. That's how we do all of our communications. You must have a bank account where you connect for the transactions to deposit. You will be required to submit copies of documentation to USDA. So that does include your Social Security card and then also your driver's license. And then of course, it's easiest to collect all of your information to have it on hand when we complete the application with you so that we can get it done as efficiently as possible on your behalf. As I mentioned before, there is a purchase program. No Video Group has everything available for purchase if you don't qualify for the grant. And as I mentioned before, you can also still qualify for those lower rates that we've been able to negotiate for credit and debit processing. And then of course, we'll still help you with ensuring that you get all set up and all of your needs are met. These are some of the future developments that are also included in the cooperative agreement for this round. So we're working on shifting some federal benefits that are currently in paper form to electronic form. Most importantly, that with the largest one being the Farmers Market Nutrition Program. We hope to have that available this spring in a pilot format and then roll out as soon as possible, likely in 2022 for everywhere to be able to do electronic FMNP. EWIC is actually currently available already in many states. With the challenge there being that some states don't have a process for farmers to sign up to accept EWIC. So we are working with state agencies to get that process set up, assist them in supporting their farmers that way. And then we are also working on electronic incentives so that at some point in the future, you will be able to have all of your tender types, all of your benefits all in one place. We're developing what's known as an electronic wallet, a digital wallet in which a beneficiary would have all of their benefits in one app essentially, and then a farmer or market could accept any of those benefits so long as they have the Total Pay Go app on their device. We're also thinking about opportunities for gift cards and loyalty programs. And then as you see on the bottom, we're also working with No Video Group on the expansion of companion apps and services. These include Total Pay Register, which just as it sounds, is a point of sale app where you can have your inventory loaded into it. A customer app to find markets and farmers that are able to accept the different types of benefits. And we're hopeful that we'll also be able to work on providing online SNAP for farmers and markets across the country. Excuse me. So this is a little bit more about EWIC. As I mentioned, it is available in some states currently. And then right now, if there is an incentive program that is SNAP-based, we can actually set it up currently. The way that it would work is that the program coordinator, so the central location would have equipment and every single vendor participating in the program would have their own equipment. If there are groups out there that are interested in setting this up, we can work with them to figure out how to do so. We're also working on standardized guidelines and more information on setting up all of these different programs that I just mentioned as we build them up. The mission of NAFMP is to cultivate opportunities for consumers to buy fresh produce from local growers. So this MarketLink program is in keeping with NAFMP's mission and fits in with our long-term vision of providing sustainability for farmers and markets so that they can have increased sales, profitability, and expansion of their market. These are our social media accounts. Please connect with us there. We share information about the program. We also share information from farmers and markets accounts. And we would love to connect with you on social media. And then here are the references to places where you can get all of your questions answered. If this MarketLink webinar is missing any piece of the equation, please feel free to reach out to me directly. Or as I mentioned, we can set up a time for you to work with one of our regional representatives to get that SNAP retailer application done. Or if you're stuck at any point in the process, we're here to help. And then lastly, all of the information is on our website at www.marketlink.org.
All right, thank you for that. And now we are going to have Erin Mclaren from Iowa's Healthiest State Initiative talk about Double Up Food Bucks here in Iowa.
My name is Erin Mclaren. I work at the Iowa Healthiest State Initiative and am the Double Up Food Bucks coordinator. On this picture, you can see our new currency for winter of 2021. I'll start with a little overview of Double Up Food Bucks and how it works in the state of Iowa. Double Up Food Bucks is managed and run by the Iowa Healthiest State Initiative. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we first started to pilot Double Up Food Bucks at 6 farmers markets back in 2016. Since that time, we've been able to add new farmers markets each year. We have added food co-ops, and then most recently, some retail grocery stores. Most current year of 2020, we were offering the program at 24 farmers markets and 124 grocery stores, and that covered 76 counties in Iowa. We were able to do this rather large expansion into retail grocery through the Federal CARES Act allocation that came from the Feeding Iowa Task Force. And that was really to address food insecurity needs in Iowa during COVID-19. In 2020, the Double Up Food Bucks sales were at over $1 million. We redeemed 1,001,946 Double Up Food Bucks. So those are all fresh fruits and vegetables that are going home with Iowa families. And of that $1 million, over $150,000 were spent at Iowa farmers markets with local Iowa producers. So in Iowa, the Double Up Food Bucks program works when SNAP shoppers are spending their dollars on fresh fruits and vegetables at a participating site. They receive a Double Up Food Buck 1-to-1 matching up to $10 per day. So if they purchase $7 of fresh fruits and vegetables using their SNAP EBT card, we would match that with $7 of Double Up Food Bucks. They can then use those Double Up Food Bucks on their next visit to a farmer's market or grocery store, or they can save them up until they have more, or at a later date when there's produce that they want to purchase and spend them at that time. So now it does work slightly different depending on what type of location you're visiting. So I will run through that just quickly so everyone has a good understanding. Currently in farmers markets, Double Up Food Bucks works by having the customer visit a central information booth. And there they swipe their EBT card with the market manager or volunteer that's at the central information booth. They will be given SNAP tokens and Double Up Food Bucks cards at the same time, and then be able to go throughout the market and spend both of those currencies as they see fit. We provide all our Double Up Food Bucks vendors with a Double Up Food Bucks sign, so it's very easy for the customers to see which booths do accept Double Up Food Bucks. Then at the discretion of the farmers market, the vendors turn in their SNAP token and Double Up Food Bucks to the farmers market for reimbursement. The Healthiest State will reimburse the farmers market for all Double Up Food Bucks submitted to us for payment. This is just kind of a quick little visual that can let customers see the difference between what they may be able to purchase with SNAP EBT and what they can purchase with Double Up Food Bucks. So they are allowed to use Double Up Food Bucks on food plants and seeds that produce edible produce, and also on fresh herbs, and as well as fresh fruits and vegetables. At farm stands or roadside stands, it works just slightly different because the transaction is done directly with the vendor. So they can purchase their produce with the farmer, and they can match that 1-to-1. So we would supply the vendor with Double Up Food Bucks. They would do the matching 1-to-1 up to $10 per day. And then would also be responsible for the reporting that goes along with having Double Up Food Bucks at their stand. And I will go into that in a little bit more detail later. But the main difference between the farmer's market and the farm stand is there is not a SNAP currency involved, since the transaction is being done directly with the farmer at their roadside stand. In the grocery store, all the transactions are done at the register. So the customer would be shopping for all of their groceries. And if they do purchase fresh produce using their SNAP EBT card at the register, at that time, they're issued the Double Up Food Bucks up to $10 a day, the same matching as occurs in the farmer's market. So then they would leave the grocery store with their Double Up Food Bucks, and they can return on a subsequent trip or take them to their local farmer's market and spend them for additional fresh fruits and vegetables. So I'd like to go over some of the program requirements for participating in Double Up Food Bucks in Iowa. So for farmers markets that are interested in becoming a Double Up Food Bucks farmers market, there are some qualifications that need to be met first. The first is that the farmers market has to be able to accept SNAP benefits, and that means that the farmers market itself has registered with the USDA and has a FNS number that allows them to accept SNAP payments. That is different from what Tracy explained, where each vendor has their own SNAP EBT machine. At this time, unfortunately, Double Up Food Bucks isn't able to be administered at farmers markets with individual vendors. We are only able to work with the farmers market at like the higher level. So the farmers market would have to have their own FNS number, have a SNAP point of sale device, and have some SNAP currency that they can use within their market. In addition to that, we ask that they have the organizational capacity to handle the associated accounting and reporting that will come with Double Up Food Bucks and SNAP in the market. And that is that they now have to accept these currencies from the vendors in their market and be able to reimburse them, as well as go online and do the reporting for Double Up Food Bucks so that we can in turn reimburse the market for those Double Up Food Bucks. So there is some capacity that is needed at the farmers market level to have Double Up Food Bucks in operation. If you're interested, we ask that you just fill out the online application at doubleupiowa.org, and then I would be in contact with you for next steps. For farm stands or roadside stands to participate in Double Up Food Bucks, they must start with a similar of being able to accept SNAP benefits and have the FNS number from the USDA. And as well as a SNAP point of sale device. And then beyond that, we just ask that they have sufficient organizational capacity to handle the reporting that we ask for online. And then we reimburse monthly via paper checks. So just, understanding those items up front and being able to work with those. So if farm stand is interested in participating in Double Up Food Bucks, there's a separate application on the same page at doubleupiowa.org. So the healthiest state for any participating Double Up Food Bucks site We'll provide necessary implementation materials. So we provide the Double Up Food Bucks script, which is a paper coupon at this point in time worth $1 each. We provide vinyl signs, 11 by 17, that can be used at your farmer's market or your farm stand. We do require an in-person and/or during COVID-19 webinar format training. And most of those currently are being done one-on-one. So we can find a time that works best for us and walk through everything that you would need to know to get started. The Healthiest State provides templates and tools for any of the record keeping that we require. So any of the Double Up Food Bucks record keeping that we ask that you enter, we have templates that are already created. So very easy to fill out at the market or at your farm stand to keep track of sales. And any technical assistance related to Double Up Food Bucks throughout the season, I'm available and I'm willing to help in any way I can, or get you connected with the right person that can help answer your questions. And then we reimburse all Double Up Food Bucks spent at the farmer's market or farm stand. Some of the things that we expect of you, and I mentioned a few of these already, attend the in-person training at the beginning to make sure that everyone is on the same page. Offer Double Up Food Bucks and SNAP to customers at the point of sale during the program season. We do have to be able to have third-party verification of SNAP sales during the season if we are audited by the USDA. So we do have you sign a contract saying that those would be available up to 4 years after the sales are made. And we ask that you promote Double Up Food Bucks and SNAP in your community at your farmers market so that people are aware of the program and can take advantage of it, and so that you can have increased sales. Complete all the Double Up Food Bucks reporting requirements, and those are all online. And that is the only way that we accept those currently. Participate in any program evaluation that goes on. We do, because we are part of some USDA funding, we are held to evaluation standards. And so we work with the University of Iowa to do customer surveys, vendor surveys. And so we ask that you participate in those once a year when they are available. And then just making sure that you have the capacity to operate Double Up Food Bucks at your stand and cover any of those like administrative costs. So taking the time to go online and enter the sales, which is fairly minimal once you're trained and ready to go, but there is some, of that goes along with the program. A lot of times we get questions on reporting and reimbursement process for Double Up Food Bucks, and we do reporting and reimbursement the same across all sites that we work with. Grocery, farmers market, farm stands. We have an online reporting terminal. We ask that reporting be entered by the 10th of the month for the previous month's activity. So for example, all sales for June would be entered by July 15th. And here you can see what we look for each month. So we ask for the SNAP sales, the number of SNAP transactions, the amount. So this is for farmers markets only that are using SNAP currency, but the SNAP redeemed, so the currency that was turned back into the farmers market, then the Double Up Food Bucks dollars that you gave to customers as a match, the Double Up that you redeemed from customers paying for fruits and vegetables, and then the number of transactions on the Double Up Food Bucks being spent on fruits and vegetables. So that's all submitted via the terminal by the 10th. And we write a check by the 15th of that same month and put it in the mail to you. This is just a quick shot of what that online reporting terminal looks like. You can see there's the date that is selected for the period of sales, and then just simply entering aggregate totals in. There is a spot for comments, feedback, or questions if you did have any associated with that time period. A new change for 2021, different from previous years, is that we are going to a quarterly expiration for our currency. And that is mainly due to financial and budgetary reasons, as the amount of Double Up Food Bucks grew to over $1 million this year. we needed to make sure that we were able to financially back every one of those dollars that is in circulation. And the best way for us to know and make sure we can guarantee that we can do that is to expire them quarterly versus annually. So here you'll see right now we're using the winter 2021 up in the upper left, and that will expire March 31st. So beginning March 15th, we will start issuing the spring 2020 dollars into circulation. So they will be issued March 15th, and then they will expire June 30th. So we'll do some awareness marketing around these expiration dates prior to them actually happening, so we can hopefully inform customers to get out there and spend their dollars before they expire. And then the last thing that I just wanted to touch on was the considerations that the Iowa Healthy Estate Initiative has for the program going forward. We know that the paper system may not be the best solution for Iowa long-term. One of the main reasons we have stayed with the paper system is because it's universally received at both grocery stores and farmers markets. And since we have introduced retail grocery store to the Double Up Food Bucks program, we have noticed that farmers markets have been redeeming more and more Double Up Food Bucks year after year. In fact, many redeem more Double Up Food Bucks than they hand out. So we know that it's a very important aspect of the program to support local producers, and that we need to make sure that the Double Up Food Bucks that are being distributed at retail grocery stores are able to be turned in at farmers markets and farm stands, so that those dollars continue to flow back to the local producer as best they can. So we have really held out until we can find a technological solution that will preserve that universal redemption across Double Up Food Bucks sites and prioritize local agriculture. And I think we're getting closer and closer. Just as technology works, every year gets, new advancements. And so I don't think that that's too far off, but that is our main reason of really not having that tech solution available in Iowa yet. Another aspect of technology is just the cost and feasibility of having it in farmers markets, farm stands. Just as with the SNAP program, there's the machines and the technology that goes with that. We are a smaller nonprofit organization, and most of our dollars right now are being directed towards the Double Up Food Bucks incentives. And so making sure that we can find a solution that is feasible and the scope and cost is appropriate and sustainable is an important aspect to us. And then hopefully when we do find those, it will improve the customer and the vendor experience both. And then our other major consideration as we move forward with the Double Up Food Bucks program is sustainability. So we continue to encourage the state of Iowa to be a player in the Double Up Food Bucks program. And just by what this past year has brought, you've seen the great things that came out of the Feeding Iowa Task Force, and we couldn't be happier about that. It really helps us to be able to have a statewide program, have better access. And then, of course, as with everyone, we are definitely facing the challenges related to COVID-19. We've seen increased redemption rates, increased need and utilization across the state, and then just varying food assistance relief efforts. So like Tracy had mentioned, the increased SNAP maximum benefits, increasing that by 15%, pandemic EBT, those are all available for Double Up Food Bucks matching. And so we just need to keep a watchful eye on those relief efforts and make sure that our program is able to sustain itself through COVID-19. I will put my contact information up here. I'm happy to answer any questions that come up that aren't answered in this webinar. You can give me a call, that's my cell phone. And then, as I mentioned, if you are interested in the application, if you just visit doubleupiowa.org and scroll to the bottom of the page, you'll find all of the Double Up Food Bucks applications there. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Erin. We appreciate that. And so one question I realized that we get quite a bit about EBT here in Iowa or in general is if EBT can be accepted online. And I can go ahead and answer that as somebody who gets that question constantly and say, unfortunately, not at this time. I think we can all attest to hopeful rumblings about what may be in the works or different pilots that are happening nationwide. But at this time, especially with the growth of online sales at farms and farmers markets, we all hope that moves along quickly, but you got to figure out an alternative currently. And in general, just wanted to point out that every market and every farm that we have here in Iowa is unique and different, and we recognize that. So there's not one solution that necessarily works best for all, and that's why we wanted to present multiple different options for folks, that you have all the information you need, and that we have some really great programs and contacts and support here in the state of Iowa. So definitely reach out if you have those questions, or if you are looking at signing up for a program. All of these women are wonderful resources, and definitely check out their websites as well. So with that in mind, I wanted to open it up if there's any final questions that you all have as far as speaking about your program, something you forgot, or just a promotion that you want to make on the end here. Hearing none and seeing big smiles, that means you did a great job. That's wonderful.
People eat those fruits and vegetables. The local Iowa products. Choose Iowa. Is that what we're supposed to say?
Yes, choose Iowa, right? Yes. Yeah, definitely. I was just going to say thanks for all of the hard work that goes into making our markets accessible for everybody in all Iowans. And I will make sure that we post everyone's contact information and websites, both on our Facebook page as well as the Iowa Farmers Market Association website, so that anybody can access those and be sure to reach out. So thank you everybody for your time today, and we look forward to market season 2021.
Hey, thanks, Marie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for attending the Iowa Farmers Market Association virtual conference. Remember, Iowa Farm Bureau sponsored bags that are available to our membership. Please consider becoming a member. For only $20, you can provide safety to your market customers by requesting the new bags for vendors to use. Visit our website for more information. The sessions will be available on our website, so you can refer to them or point someone to them. Thank you and have a great 2021 market season.